Minister, events have overtaken us. My question relates to the publication of the policy document for the islands. So, well done, congratulations, it's finally published. However, it wasn't available in Irish. It is at this stage, and 64% of the population of the islands, Irish is their first language, and it wasn't available. So I just want to note that for the record. I've since got it. But in relation to the actual action plan now, I'll zone in on the implementation body. When is it going to be set up and who will be on it?
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Deputy. And just to say, I'm delighted to say that I launched Our Living Islands. It's an ambitious 10-year policy to support vibrant and sustainable island communities. I did that on Aire Island off the coast of Donegal last Wednesday, the 7th of June. And I had the Irish version with me that day because I had it in my hand on the Wednesday when I launched it, because it was very important, and I fully understand that we should have it in Irish, and I made sure we had it. And can I just say that the policy draws on the unique strengths and assets of the islands and sets out under its 5-year strategic objectives a comprehensive way forward which will see island communities grow and prosper. Key to the development of the policy and action plan was the extensive public consultation which enabled island communities and other stakeholders to express their views as to the challenges and opportunities associated with living on an island. As a result of delivering this policy, we will see more people living on the islands, more people working on the islands with good career prospects, regardless of where their employer is headquartered. Islands contributing to and benefiting from the transition to a low-carbon economy and a climate-neutral society, and island communities, and especially young people, having an active role in shaping the future for Ireland's islands. Our Living Islands is the first whole-of-government policy for the islands to be published in 27 years, and it will be backed up by rolling 3-year action plans. I published the first of these action plans last week with 80 commitments for the period 23 to 26. The actions include improving housing and water infrastructure, better access to essential services in health and education, delivering high-speed broadband, supporting remote working, and further developing outdoor amenities and sustainable tourism. These time-bound actions will be implemented by various stakeholders led by a nominated government department. I'll also be appointing representatives from the islands to an oversight committee chaired by my department to ensure that the implementation of the policy is progressed. So toes will be kept to the fire.
Thank you. The action plan was in Irish. The actual policy document was not in Irish on the day. It came much later. We got access to the action plan. In relation to the implementation and the monitoring body, can you confirm when that will be set up? And you're confirming that there will be island representatives on that. Now, I said well done, and you kept your word in relation to the publication of the document, but you'll forgive me for my scepticism, because the motion that I tabled was back in 19, and that was based on the absence of a policy for the islands, despite a 1996 interdepartmental working committee that recommended a policy urgently. So here we are 27 years later, we're getting a policy. Now forgive me, but a lot of it is there's a lot of recycling of existing policies, which I understand because it's an overall government strategy. But I'm still extremely concerned about the failure to recognise the difficult situation that islanders find themselves in. I'm out of time, so I'll stop.
Deputy, I know that this is something that you have had an interest in and you've raised with me on many occasions, and I'm very pleased to say it's now published. I think it's a good policy. I met with the islanders, representative groups from across the different islands, and I have to say on the day they were, they welcomed it, and there's a number of initiatives in it, and particularly I want to see quality remote working hubs developed in every island, new e-health pods, and I want to see high-speed broadband to deliver new opportunities for education in terms of blended learning. There was HSE representatives on the day that were on the island as well in Aire, and they were very positive about what they can do in terms of supporting islanders. The Vacant Homes Refurbishment Grant which is a very successful here. There's going to be a 20% top-up for islanders. I think that's a specific commitment that I have achieved. This is a whole-of-government policy. There was a lot of consultation, and it got held up with COVID, but this is really and truly a ground-up approach. The islanders have had a huge amount of input into this policy, and I'm glad to say they have, because they're the people that need to benefit from it.
Thank you, Minister. Within a minute, it's very difficult. So I'm asking again, the monitoring committee, when will it be set up? Who will be on it? Though, in relation to the Irish language, there's one page in an 80-page document, one page on the Irish language that refers to implementing the Official Languages Act. Nothing else in relation to the Irish language. 79% of the Gaeltacht Islands, which form the vast majority of the islands, are Irish-speaking, and there's absolutely no strategy or action in relation to that. In relation to health, a health strategy was published back in 2017 in relation to what was needed for health services on the islands. In 2022, we're still struggling, with your assistance, I might add, in relation to, for example, a health centre on Inishbofin that hasn't progressed at all because of two authorities not getting their act together, I would say, and so on. My question as I finish is, have you any intention of basing this policy on legislation as they have done in Scotland and reverse the population decline there?
Yeah, well, just again, go back to the copy of the document. We had hard copies on the island on the day as Gaeilge, so they were translated and I had them in my hand, both copies of the action plan and actual policy document, and it went up later, obviously, online, but they were definitely there on the day that morning. In fact, yes, we are going to we're going to set up. We have a monitoring committee here, and now I only launched the strategy last week, so I have officials working on the next steps in terms of the monitoring committee. And there will be representatives from Pobail and Aire and Corn and Illan, and we're engaging with them regarding representations on the committee. So I'll be on the committee as well, and I can assure you that between myself and the islanders, we'll be holding all the various departments to account. And there's real actions there, and I know that it took longer, but I wanted to make sure. Sorry, Ciara, I wanted to make sure that we had real, tangible actions in this policy. Well, I think we'll let this policy settle now and see how it goes, because I'm happy that we will make progress.
Okay, thank you, Minister.